The Friday night lights will shine on all but one playoff game as the Georgia High School Association continues to fight to suspend roughly 36 players on the Gainesville Red Elephants.
That's right. Their matchup against Hughes High School in South Fulton County, that is indefinitely postponed as both sides explore their legal options. 11 Live's Grace King is showing us how that process could play out in the courts.
At Langston Hughes High, they say winning is the only thing. But there will be none of that on Friday night as their playoff game against Gainesville High takes a timeout in court.
Honestly, saddened for the GHSA. This is an awful look for them. Saddened for our kids and sad for Langston Hughes kids.
The Georgia High School Association says it plans to appeal a Hall County judge's decision to reverse its suspension of 35 players from GHS who allegedly participated in this brawl against Brunswick High last week. Athletic Director Adam Lindsay says that's not fair to the kids.
We want to do what's best for kids, and it turns out it seems like the GHSA just wants to do what's best for adults.
They're continuing to practice for the playoffs, though the legal process moves at a very different speed than high school football.
They will probably go to the Court of Appeals, where the presiding judge for emergency motions will hear it. That could take a week or two, which is unbelievable speed when we talk about the legal system.
Attorney Daryl Cohen says while it's possible to get a hearing before the state championship, that decision wouldn't necessarily be the end.
And that can be appealed as well. So if we really play out the legal process, this could go on until next season.
He suggests both sides reach an agreement outside of court.
We are looking at a much more condensed period of time, 2 weeks. The best thing they can do is settle it.
The biggest question now is what will happen to the remainder of the 5A football playoffs. The winners of tonight's matchups are scheduled to play again next Friday ahead of the state championship on December 15th. In Hall County, Grace King, 11 Alive News.
Our thanks to Grace for that report. Now, this legal limbo, it could affect several other playoff teams in Metro Atlanta as well. We did ask the other leaders at those schools how they are preparing for this. Roswell High School's athletic director tells us that they cannot afford to put their focus on what else is going on because they have to remain locked in for tonight's matchup against Sequoia High. He says it's been a great week of practice for the Hornets. We also reached out to Sequoia High School leaders. They say that this is an unfortunate situation, but they can only control their team. They say that everyone has their teams, and every one of their teams, rather, has a fight plan, and they ask their coaches to go over that as part of their normal preparation for this. Finally, Jackson County tells us right now their focus is on hosting a great matchup between two deserving high schools tonight. As for what's next, their athletic director says that's something that's going to have to be figured out in the coming days. This is certainly a story that we will stay on top of and bring you updates as we get them.